Hello everyone, welcome to today's video and this is your friend Aceink. Whenever you think about Indian television channels, the first few names that come to your mind would be Star Plus, Star One, Zee TV, Sony, etc. etc. But now it seems like it's the age of OTT platforms, where platforms like Netflix and Amazon Prime are ruling in the field of daily entertainment. And to cope up with this new development and challenge, the traditional television channels are also moving towards online platforms like ZEE5.com, Disney Hotstar, ColorsTV.com and many more. But what many people don't realize is that television channels like Star Plus, Star One, Zee, Sony, etc. they came to India only after the liberalization policy in the year 1991. And before all these private channels became popular, there was only one player in the television channel market which held the undisputed monopoly champion in the viewership, and that only channel was Doordarshan. And in today's time, many people might not even know that there is a channel called Doordarshan. But there was a time where for 32 years, right from the introduction of television in India in the year 1959 till the era of liberalization which started in the year 1991, Doordarshan ruled as India's only means of news, entertainment, knowledge and sports. And for many, shows like Ramayana, Mahabharata and Shaktiman still makes them feel very nostalgic. So now many of you might be having the question, what happened to Doordarshan? How Doordarshan ended up from being India's #1 channel to becoming a channel with no demand, and what was the path Doordarshan took to become irrelevant? And in today's video, we are going to exactly discuss about it in detail. But before we move forward, I would like to tell you guys that me and my team, we really work very hard to make such kind of a quality content. And if you want to appreciate our hard work and effort, then you can hit the like button and like the video, and you can also subscribe to our channel. And most importantly, don't forget to press the bell notification so that you get an immediate update as soon as we upload a new video. So to start with, let me ask you a question. Do you know which is the most watched TV show or television show in the entire world? So to answer this question, some of you might think that maybe it could be one of the show which is produced in America or maybe some other foreign country. But let me tell you, the most watched TV show in the entire world is none other than Ramayana, which was streamed on Doordarshan. And this is according to the tweet that was posted by DD National from their official Twitter handle. And of course, many people disagree with this claim that Doordarshan has made, and they place their counter argument accordingly. But let's not get into this debate. But if you see the data released by DD National, about 7.7 crore people have watched Ramayana across the globe when it was retelecasted during the lockdown time. Maybe 7.7 crore people watching this show might not be record breaking, but it will easily put the show on one of the highest watched television shows in the entire world. So now let's try to understand what exactly happened with Doordarshan, which has produced so many legendary shows in the past. So to begin with, let's try to understand why Doordarshan was started. What was the need? So the need for Doordarshan started with the independence of India. At that time, Indians only had very limited options to gain knowledge and entertain themselves on a daily basis. All they would do was read books and listen to radio channels. But on 15th September 1959, Doordarshan was broadcasted as an experimental broadcast in Delhi. And during those times, Doordarshan was known with the name Television India. And during those times, Indians loved to listen to 5 minutes of news bulletin which was broadcasted on the radio channel. So in the year 1965, the same news bulletin was also regularly broadcasted on Doordarshan in some cities like Delhi, Mumbai and Amritsar. But very soon with satellite launches, it was made possible to broadcast these news bulletins on a national scale. And earlier, people used to listen to the news on the radio or used to read it next day in the newspaper. But this new concept of watching the news with the visuals was mind-blowing. Because in present time, if you look at it, it might look very insignificant. But for people during those time, it was just like the discovery of fire by humans, because they had never seen such a miracle before. And this is how the trend of TV or television was started in India. And later, during the midway through the 1970s, the satellite instructional television experiment helped develop programs that provided entertainment in the form of dance, music, drama and folk, and also rural art forms, as well as information on agriculture, health and family planning. And nowadays, television channels might be seen as a mode of entertainment, but during those times, the significant achievement of Doordarshan was not entertainment, but its contribution that helped India to grow. For example, during the 1960s, Green Revolution was started to spread information regarding farming. And on 26th Jan 1967, Doordarshan started broadcasting a TV show called Krishi Darshan, which was started to help the farmers to grow crops using more effective methods. And this show, which was broadcasted on Doordarshan, revolutionized the Indian agriculture. And the impact Krishi Darshan created was so big that inspired many researchers in India and abroad to do a research on how big the impact Krishi Darshan has created on the Indian agricultural changes. Because the show Krishi Darshan not only helped farmers but also India, because at that time India was totally dependent on agricultural income. And also till date Krishi Darshan is helping farmers. So until 1976, Doordarshan was part of All India Radio or AIR, but on April 1976, Doordarshan separated from All India Radio and became a separate department under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. And currently, along with Akashvani, it is one of Prasar Bharati's divisions. And with time, Doordarshan started gaining more traction, and the year 1982 was very significant for Doordarshan because during that year, the Independence Day speech of Indira Gandhi and the Asian Games, which was organized in Delhi, was broadcasted on Doordarshan. But Doordarshan saw its biggest rise with the launch of Ramayana, because earlier people only used to read the Ramayana and used to visualize those scenes in their mind. But when it was broadcasted on Doordarshan, people started watching it with their hearts. And the craze for Ramayana was so big and massive that when the episode of Ramayana was broadcasted, around 300 to 400 people used to gather at one place to watch Ramayana. And also when the Ramayana episodes were broadcasted, the whole city and the streets used to go empty because everybody was watching Ramayana. But very soon things started to change with the introduction of LPG policy in the year 1991. And because of this liberalization, now private channels or private players were also capable of launching their own channels, because of which the monopoly of Doordarshan was threatened. And very soon Doordarshan faced its first competitor when Zee TV was born. Because as soon as Zee TV was launched, they started broadcasting many family-friendly shows and dramas, and we can easily say that it was the beginning of the Saas Bahu serials. But still, this competition was manageable for Doordarshan, because to match with Zee TV, they also launched many primetime shows like Chandrakanta and Alif Laila, which were massive hit shows of Doordarshan. And even today, some people might still remember popular characters like the notorious villain Kroor Singh from those shows. And at this point of a time, Doordarshan was actually winning the race against the private players, because at that time Ramayana was already having a large set of audience, and also the news show that was telecasted on Doordarshan was above the standards. But after 1995, the competition started intensifying because new channels like Star TV, Sony TV were also launched, and this was the time when Doordarshan started facing tough competition. And it was during those tough times Doordarshan played its best cards, because right now if you see, every member of the family have their own mobile phone where they can watch whatever they like. But during those time it was not like that. An entire family used to have only one television, and Doordarshan understood that the kids or the younger member of the family would decide which channel the entire family is going to watch. And that is why they started broadcasting shows like Junior G and the legendary show Shaktiman in the year 1997. And I believe there is no need to mention how successful and how big Shaktiman had become and what was the craze of Shaktiman during those times. And this was a very clever move from Doordarshan which saved them for the next 5 years. And everything went smoothly till the year 2000, because after 2000 many of the private channels also had some of the popular hit shows which targeted kids and the younger members of the family. So in order to make a comeback in the year 2003, Doordarshan again launched new shows like Meher, Miss India, and the so-called horror show Ye Hawaye, which also won the Best TV Serial Award. And all these shows actually worked for Doordarshan, and in the year 2005 Doordarshan was at its peak and was easily beating all the private channels with their hit shows. But 2005 was also the year which triggered the downfall of Doordarshan. So to cope up with this downfall and to increase their audience, Doordarshan started partnering with some popular TV shows like Pavitra Rishta of Ekta Kapoor and gave very big hit shows like Pavitra Bandhan and Saraswati Chandra. But now things were getting harder for Doordarshan because channels like Star Plus, Sony and Zee had many shows in their portfolio. And these shows were produced with a higher budget and higher quality, And on the other hand, Doordarshan started struggling because of their low budget and poor quality shows. And the main competitive edge private players or private channels had over Doordarshan was private channels were very quick in innovating. They experimented with a lot of content and they kept on growing shows which were working and closed those shows which were not working. And also the shows of private channels figured out how to plan their content well in advance so that they could capitalize on trends like Diwali or Valentine's Day, Friendship Day or any other festival. Because private channels figured that their shows would attract more audience on a regular basis if they showed their favorite characters celebrating festivals like Diwali or other popular events like Friendship Day or Valentine's Day. And along with that, the characters in their shows started wearing latest trending clothes and apparels, which impressed a lot of female audience who started watching these shows regularly. And on the other hand, Doordarshan was not able to cope up with this challenge because first of all, they had lower budget on the shows, and second thing is when it comes to innovation and bringing something new to the audience, we have to accept that private players are more capable in this domain compared to the government companies or government players. And this trend is not only evident in case of Doordarshan, you can also see this trend in case of BSNL or Coal India or even State Bank of India versus private players, where private players proved to be more efficient and effective compared to government players. And because of all these reasons, now Doordarshan has lost its relevance and significance, and nowadays people only prefer to tune into Doordarshan only to watch Independence Day or Republic Day events. And considering the present times, even television channels are becoming outdated because now the time is of OTT platforms, where the competition is more intense and to fight in this competition is more expensive. So in the end, all that can be said about Doordarshan is that if government really want to have some future for Doordarshan, then the government have to look far or dur to have any darshan for its future existence. So that's it for today guys, and I hope today's video was informative, and if you think so, then please make sure to hit the like button and like the video, and you can also subscribe to the channel, and most importantly don't forget to press the bell notification so that you get an immediate update as soon as we upload a new video. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, this is your friend Bharat Shankar signing off.